Good morning, everyone, and thank you for tuning in again to South Florida Sunday with your host, Marion Dozier of TYSmedia.net and CocoWire.net. Thank y'all for tuning in. On today's show, we're going to talk about hunger, malnutrition, food deserts, and the efforts to fight it. Indeed, the U.S. Department of Agriculture recently reported that 12.3% of American households are food insecure. That means that 1 in 8 households across this country has difficulty at some point during the year feeding their entire families. That translates to more than 41 million Americans who are facing hunger, including about 13 million children. Which households are most hurt? Those with single mothers and those living below the poverty line. In Florida, the food insecurity rate is 17%, or 3.1 million people. And ladies and gentlemen, in Palm Beach County, we're not far behind. According to the United Way of Palm Beach County, 12% of our households live below the poverty rate. And while an additional 29% of households earn more than the poverty rate, they're still food insecure because they earn less than the county's cost of living. So let's not forget, the average rent in Riviera Beach alone is $1,200 a month, okay? So in other words, there is a need to feed. So on May 11th, next Saturday, will be the largest one-day effort at fighting hunger nationwide, led by the people who put letters and bills in our mailboxes, the letter carriers. On May 11th, the National Association of Letter Carriers will host its 27th annual Stamp Out Hunger food drive in nearly every community in this country. On that day, 1,400 National Association of Letter Carriers branches across the country, including Branch 1690 here in Palm Beach County, will collect millions of pounds of donated food through the mail delivery process. It is the largest one-day food drive in this country. And at least here in Florida, they will be partnering with FarmShare. The letter carriers will gather the food while FarmShare will distribute it. Last year, Homestead-based FarmShare distributed more than 55 million pounds of food, independent of the National Association of Letter Carriers gathering, to more than 17.5 million households residing in Florida's 67 counties. Almost half of that food was fresh, healthy, nutritious fruits and vegetables. And that's an important point, you guys, because on May 4th in Riviera Beach, the National Association of Letter Carriers and FarmShare will launch the kickoff of that Stamp Out Hunger campaign from 9 to 10 a.m. at the Judge Rogers Center in Riviera Beach, which is operated by the Alpha Educational Foundation. That's the nonprofit arm of the Palm Beach County chapter of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. Community leaders, government and elected officials will be there. And then beginning at 10, there will be a FarmShare food giveaway and needy families will be there. Organizers are still accepting volunteers who will receive a free commemorative t-shirt and, if they need it, community service hours. Those who just want to receive the free, fresh fruits, vegetables, and other staples just have to show up and sign in. If you need more information about how to volunteer or how to sign up and get the food, visit the website, CocoWire.net, CocoWire, and find the article on the homepage. Now, joining us today to talk about food deserts and hunger and how to fight it is John Degado. He is the Assistant Operations Manager of FarmShare, which, as I said before, is based in Homestead. Also here is Veronica Flores-Osborne, who is the President of Branch 1690 of the Palm Beach County branch of the National Association of Letter Carriers. John Degado, Veronica Flores-Osborne, thank you two for joining us on South Florida Sunday this morning. Thank you.
I'm waking up. Yay. Thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you, guys.
Definitely.
Yes. And now there was a lot that I said in that introduction, and I hope y'all are clear on those two events, May 4th and May 11th. We'll talk about it a little bit more. But I want you two to tell us about this partnership between FarmShare and the National Association of Letter Carriers. When did it start? Why did it start? And I don't know, you want to answer it, Ms. Flores-Osborne? Or
Well,
yes,
you know, thank you for having us here. It's really, really important that the word gets out every which way, by radio, by word of mouth,
social media,
everything. So everybody that's awake right now, pass it on.
Yes.
We need to let that noise happen.
Yes.
I first want to remind everybody that, the Postmaster General, Megan Brennan, she expresses her support for the 2019 Stamp Out Hunger food drive that the letter carriers are having Saturday, May 11th. The Postal Service has joined with the National Association of Letter Carriers 27 years ago. This is our 27th annual food drive. And it started out with just thinking from one carrier who said, maybe I can help my neighbor. Maybe I can do something. Let me start out of my post office. And the history on that, it just expanded when we started realizing the need. And it's not a coincidence.
Know who was that one carrier? Do you
Well, I can't tell you that. I don't remember, but I heard the story started out like that way.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, but it's funny how a lot of the things that happen comes out of the stories of letter carriers, because we are at your home every day.
Every single day.
We're that visitor, that guest that you don't want us to be there. And we just show up every time. But we also know who lives there. We know what's going on. And it doesn't happen to be just a single mom or the homeless or those who you think are the ones who are in need. It's that grandparent that is taking care of those military children that got left behind. It's the people who got laid off, or those of the federal government who were laid off for a while. We all saw it in the news. We jump right in all the time as letter carriers. We see what's going on a day-to-day basis. And during the time in the summer is the worst time, because there's at least 1 in 6 children who are food insecure.
Wow. And that's a statewide number, or
that's
nationwide?
That's nationwide.
Wow.
So 49 million Americans are starving for food right now. And we're the richest country in the world. So we shouldn't be whatsoever. Letter carriers have started doing this because of their heart of gold. They see this every day. And we started planning, well, how can we get this out? And we want it to stay within our community. I want to share with you that, in 2018, our accomplishment was 71.6 million pounds of food collected in a one day. That was done across the United States. We really go out with it. And we partner with food pantries, Farm Share. There are people who are out there to make sure they do the other part. We pick it up. We're right there every day.
So, John, let's bring you in there, sir. Do you recall when that partnership with the, and we'll call it, instead of saying all those National Association of Letter Carriers, we'll just say NALC.
Yeah.
Mr. Delgado, do you recall when NALC and Farm Share hooked up?
Oh, yeah. It's a, how do you say, it's a relationship between us that started long ago. We started out as actually working post office, picking up at post office and distributed it to the community. And I've been doing this and been familiar with the letter carriers since a kid. And I tell people the story that for a long time.
That's right. You would have been a kid, because that's 27 years ago, John Delgado.
I remember. Yes, well, I remember as a young kid raised up, going through the neighborhood, and being chased by other kids, and the letter carrier came by and got in between and looked out for me, basically. So he's been, the letter carrier's always been like a protector and a guardian in our community, a resource, someone you could confide in, a lot more than people say delivering the mail. A lot more.
And see, and I didn't. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think, and because of that relationship, it's just so funny how things come back around, that I started being involved in doing this for, like I said, 10 years, 12 years, involved in this in other groups and other ways. And it came about 2 years ago. So funny, I've been in contact with Stefan and from down in Dade, I think, post office. I don't know the branch name there. And him and I have been when working together. And he one day was saying, we need help. And we were like, I was like, definitely, we believe in your cause, and yes.
Especially when you heard about those millions of pounds that they gather every year.
well, we knew. It's just the thing is, we knew that they needed help on. It was some things with the bags, sponsoring, helping the program, because that costs money.
Yeah.
And when we spoke to I got in contact, give me the number. Stefan gave me the number to speak to the president, Al, and he said, yes, we definitely need help. We need help, and basically getting bags, billboards, a whole bunch of things that's involved in the event.
So let me interrupt for just a second. Sure. He's talking about letter carriers deliver out of that week. We wear our shirts that promote the food drive, and we deliver cards to tell you what's going on. Fill a bag. And fill a bag is that we get plastic bags, or at one time we had paper bags, and we deliver those bags as well. And they're G10s, what they call them. They're paid first class items. So it gets delivered to every household. And we encourage people, because they see those bags now, and then they either hang them from their mailbox, or they put them in their mailbox, or they leave them right by the ground.
If they fill them up,
whichever it is. And we see it, and we come by and pick it up. Or we have sometimes some volunteers that help us out too, that help us pick it up. But those are the bags that he's helping, and we needed help in the state of Florida. Our state Florida president from the NALC is Al Freeman, and he's been a real captain of trying to lead this program. And we noticed that the bags are an essential reminder, and it builds so much to get these pounds to the farm share.
And so, are y'all looking for any particular type of food? Is it just canned food, or will fresh food be okay? Meat?
No, we don't take the meat, because we don't want the meat on the ground and then we have ants.
Right.
Let me tell you, farm share would be a different discussion that he can go ahead and share with that. I mean, they're always looking for certain things, and they have to go by certain laws and liabilities.
Because, I didn't even know farm share, had meat until, because the events that I've seen and participated in, it was usually just, fruits and vegetables, sometimes sodas and stuff like that. But apparently sometimes it's meat too.
Yeah.
But
And that's a whole subject that I guess John can go into. But as far as the one day, May 11th, we do the non-perishable, so that this way we can go ahead and collect it and we take it all. We take it all, and if it's, expired, they separate it. The volunteers know what to do with it, and they itemize what cans of vegetable, cans of this, whatever we got. We get all kinds of stuff, and there's people out there who actually donate boxes of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, they're there. So it's really nice.
So do y'all enjoy this? Because it seems like, y'all usually drop stuff off, not pick stuff up. But
we do pick up too. Click and ship is there too. We do our pickup, so that's something else. But that's priority pack. But on this day, as carriers, it's like a little challenge to each of us. We come back, and some of us have to come 2, 3, 4 times to unload.
Wow.
And we just come back, and we have pictures where we open the back of our LOVs, our long life vehicles of the mail post office, and it's just so full we can't bear anymore, so it just comes trampling down. And we have those volunteers from Farm Share or from other pantries that volunteer their hours to load it up, stack it up, and put it in the trailers, that we collect.
And then Farm Share, once the food, all of these non-perishables are gathered by the NALC, how do y'all get involved?
How do we? Well,
what does Farm Share? Once they pick it up, I guess gather it, separate it, then you guys come into play, or?
Well, we when we pick it up, we have an agency pick up. We pick up together in conjunction, and what we do when we bring it back, because we have to inspect it, make sure the integrity of it, because definitely we want to be good stewardship and make sure that everything's fine. There's nothing broken, nothing contaminated. First, we go through it. Then after that, we start, because what we pick up in every county, what we pick up in West Palm stays in West Palm. Whatever we pick up stays there to the community. It doesn't go out the community.
And
is that also true for NALC?
And that's everywhere across. That's correct in every state that we pick up. Where I pick up, I live in Port St. Lucie. Yeah. My station's in Fort Pierce. Everything stays within the community you're at. That's why. Correct. And it is a one-day event that gets to your own customers that you supplied food for them. This is not something that you collect and you don't know where it went, who got a part of it, or whatever. So, it's really amazing on how it all gets put together. And this is something that we actually
sounds huge.
It's huge. We started in January this year at our branch to make sure things are coincide. Everybody knows their place. Everybody knows who's the players. Everybody knows what we're going to do. We've got what ifs left and right, but we got a lot of things that we're promoting, and we're making sure that this year we're going to try to beat that number of 71 into a lot more. Branch 1690 is really, really focusing on making sure that we put up to the challenge.
And so how long has Branch 1690 been doing this?
27
years. Everybody was.
Statewide. Everybody.
Yeah. Nationwide.
Nationwide. They started it, and then, we are letter carriers that are in every community, and we saw the need. And letter carriers have seen that, and when we announced it to our president back then, our national president,
He was in.
Yeah. And all you have to do is just talk to the Postal Service. The Postal Service was in, too. And like I said, as I stated before, our Postmaster General, Megan Brennan, she's in full support, which makes every other post office in full support, too.
Yeah. And, that was interesting, too, when you were talking about that earlier. It does make sense. I mean, you guys are in, everybody's...
We everywhere.
Everywhere.
We're worse than the FBI.
Yep.
And y'all probably know more than the FBI too.
We don't want to. We're not allowed to say anything to FBI's or anybody. We can tell you that that guy needs some food there. We're going to give him a can.
Wow, that is so interesting, and that makes sense though too. Because I'm even thinking about my own mailman. I saw him yesterday, and he told me something that he saw that was growing in my yard. Yeah. And I'm like, how did you know that? He's like, I just happened to see it. Yeah. You might want to look at that, Ms. Dozier.
Yeah, and like I said, we're here to promote the food drive, but as well as the fact that, letter carriers have been heroes left and right. I mean, they save lives. They've been going to burning homes. They save kids. They stop crimes. So they end up doing lots of more than just delivering the mail. But I know I loved my mailman, and until I became a mail carrier, I didn't realize what a letter carrier did. So,
all right, and now, okay, so, all right, tell us about the May 4th kickoff event. What are we hoping to accomplish that day? I don't know if that's for you, Mr. Degado, to answer, or
John.
Well, it's going to be our kickoff. What we're doing is basically a kickoff to let everybody know, the community aware of this event that's going to be happening the following weekend.
Right.
It's basically just getting the word out there to remind people that these bags you're going to see in your mailbox, to remind you to please put in canned non-perishable products in there that's going to go back out and help the community. So the kickoff is basically just to let everybody know and make everyone aware of the event that's coming the following weekend.
Right, very important. And then, as I said, after y'all do the kickoff that morning from, what is it? Did you say, is it 8 to 9 or 9 to 10?
It's going to be 8. It's going to be, the kickoff starts off from 9 to 10. Okay. And then the food distribution is going to be from 10 to 2. The 9 to 10 is going to be, we're going to have government officials and everyone, government officials, the letter carrier, we're going to have Veronica there.
Yes.
Everyone's going to be there and basically going to be, let everybody know that our government officials support this, back this, and also this community, this is happening, and please help us help you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is making me aware of this, because we know we all have a busy life, running around, and we just want everybody to know when they see that bag in the mailbox, and they see that, they automatically know what's it there, why is it there, And then May 11th, we just want everybody to know, please put some perishable items in the mailbox, and our letter carriers will be there to pick it up. And then we will have agencies and farm shares at post office who will be there to help unload those trucks, put them into bins, and take it back to our location to go through them real quick, and then put it right back out to the community. A lot of time we have agencies who are going to be working directly at the post office, they're the ones who's going to be giving it out to the community. These agencies are from the same community that post office is. So that's who's going right back out.
So
people might see their own cans at the church, say, hey.
So are there going to be other like food distribution centers involved in this, and sort of distributing these cans and cans around Palm Beach County, or is Farm Share going to take care of everything in Palm Beach County in terms of distribution?
No, we also we're also united with Palm Beach County Food Bank, and we also have the up north in the Treasure Coast area, we have House of Hope, and we have the oh my God,
the name of the other one. Yes.
She's gonna kill me.
It's early. It's early.
It's early in the morning. I'm waking up. I'm telling you right now.
And that's what I always used to tell Mary Masters. You gotta at least have some hot tea in the morning.
And help. I didn't have my hot tea.
Right. Me either. Maybe that's why we're all feeling a little loopy. But anyway, all right. So there's going to be that kickoff, and in the morning there'll be. So is the event from the morning kickoff event, Mr. Delgado, is that open to the public as well? Or
yes, it is. From 9 to 10 is definitely open to the public to come by. Sometimes we want to come in there and actually eat all these great people, our government officials, our president of the letter carriers. They can actually meet them and see them face to face. Because a lot of times, we're usually in the background working.
Yeah.
People don't know who is who. So now you can put a face with the position and the name. So it's a good opportunity for a community connection and get to know who's who.
And there's a lot of other kickoffs too. Like I said, and Treasure Coast, like I said, it was House of Hope and Mustard Seed. Got it.
There you go. Mustard Seed.
And they everybody's doing kickoffs, different events.
Okay.
It's to make sure that the public is aware. Your community, your local community, is trying to make everybody aware what's going on. Just get that bag out there. We're filled up with some food.
All right. And so y'all will drop the bag off, say, on the 11th, and then come back and get it the...
No, we drop it off that Tuesday. We're going to drop off the card to let you know what's going on that Saturday.
On
that Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, you start looking for that bag because it's going to be in your mailbox.
Okay.
On Saturday morning, you want to have your bag in your mailbox, by your mailbox, hanging from your mailbox, so that we can identify it and make sure we pick up that food. Saturday morning. That's when we're going to make sure that we pick up all that food.
And so from your experience, does it seem like, just about everybody participates? I mean,
there's a lot of folks that do participate.
Yeah.
The ones that are surprising more so is the ones you don't think are going to participate. So
the ones who need the food themselves?
Yeah.
Maybe.
They're the ones that really give out. And I think a lot of that has got to do is because they've been there before. They know how it is. They know where it needs to go. And there's no harm, especially, when we go into some of the supermarkets and stuff and we ask them, make some announcement. We're going to do our food drive.
Right.
You're going to do any kind of buy one, get one free. You want to go ahead and buy an extra one. Yeah,
I had to tell Mayor Masters to mention that at his church.
That's
right.
What do
you want to tell me to mention my church?
Oh, we got Mayor Masters here now.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't even know.
I'm here.
Look who's here.
I want to know what's in that yard that you didn't know was growing.
And he didn't bring no green tea.
Tell everybody what's in your yard that the mail carrier had to tell you that you didn't know was growing. Was it okra or tomatoes or some vegetable?
That's a shame.
Well, you want to give a disclaimer right now? You can.
The disclaimer, right? Okay. It was the green tea.
You got the mic.
Well, you got to be careful of neighbors. You never know what neighbors will put in your yards these days. But you know what? I was just here thinking about this whole issue. It's just wonderful that we have these national, state, county organization is doing things finally to address the hunger in this country. 10 years ago, 10 to 15 years ago, it wasn't even addressed like this. Now we got it.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy to hear that people are mobilizing over the state doing something about it. You know, people say, oh, they got food stamps. And, you know, they got Section 8. And, you know, but there are a lot of people who don't have either.
Right.
There's a homeless population. There are people who are not even qualified. But everybody can use a bag of food.
Absolutely.
Everybody. And I just want to commend you for the great work that you're doing and recultivating something that was there, but no one really addressed it. Like we're just beginning to address the homeless situation in a meaningful way. Yeah. So I'm on board.
Good.
Thank you.
Well, one thing I'm wondering, Farm Share, he was talking earlier about community, connecting to the community. I'm just wondering, Farm Share is kind of, increasing their presence here in Palm Beach County.
And that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Is there a reason why that's happening?
Because I live here.
Oh.
Because we got to know John and Mayor Master.
Right.
That's why. It's all about community connections, networking, and the communication in the Postal Service with letter carriers sitting out there. We know what's going on. I mean, we are ones that are involving a lot, even with the disasters that are happening to us. We want to make sure that Farm Share and all those pantries are going to get filled.
That's amazing.
And having the politicians, all of them,
that's amazing.
All the community, pastors in church. It is not just letter carriers. I mean, it's the one day that we really work even triple harder.
You have to commend the postmaster, the postal, for doing this, for allowing the carriers to take part in it. I was thinking that maybe when school starts back, maybe we can do something like bag out there for supplies, because a lot of children are going to school without supplies.
We do that individually, but it's not something that has been done national wise. But
so I gave you an idea. Do it.
No, we've been doing it already. We try it. We do it in little post office everywhere around that they want to start. We do
really. I want to make sure we do it in our post office.
We fill out a book bag and everybody gets And
that's inside the post office.
Inside the post, and then we go to either through United Way or different areas.
But I'm talking about a sack. The same thing, the same principle. The carrier, instead of food,
we're pitching
supplies.
a bunch of different ideas. In fact, we even pitched.
I think that's a good idea. What do you think, Marion?
Yeah, we pitched a different idea as well. As we wanted to do it twice.
That's great.
In the food drive, and we're trying to work with the Postal Service, and we're trying to make sure that we get everything that we can. But we do, like you said, we're very grateful to the Postmaster General. Megan Brennan for allowing us.
You can sing that song, Mary. You may remember Mr. Postman. You don't remember Mr. Postman?
You don't know that song?
Well,
no, you didn't. No, you
Wait,
did.
Mr. Postman? Who was that by?
You have to remind me.
Go Google it. Mr. Postman.
Give me a name.
Oh. Dun, 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 dun,
now she's dancing to it.
Okay.
Mr. Postman.
It's almost 7 o'clock, so we're waking up now.
They didn't have Mrs. Postman. It was Mr. Postman. It was a song. Now it's mail carriers.
Yeah, now it's mail carriers. That's
and I struggled with that too as I was, preparing to come to the show, because I still call them mailmen. What do you call the mail women?
Okay, so I call us oxymorons because it's male, a woman. No, it's actually the correct way is letter carrier.
Oh, okay.
And actually, now it's not just letter carriers anymore. It's a bunch of stuff carriers.
Yeah. Because you guys are delivering stuff even on Sunday for Amazon and stuff, I noticed.
Yeah. We certainly, we were fighting for making sure we don't lose our days, and we are certainly struggling with that. But we make sure, now we got 7 days, that we make sure that on Sundays, you get your package or your medicines that you need. So
on your way to church.
On your way to church, and we know when Mayor Master's passing by. Come here, you got a package. Don't be leaving your house now.
All right. Well, we're down to the last minute here, so give us some information for our listeners if they want to participate on May the 4th. At the Judge Edward Rogers Center, or do I need to provide that?
John?
Yeah.
John, you have it?
Well, no.
May 4th.
Well,
May 4th.
Yeah. We have where can they go to see this? Do you have it on your website or
Yes,
information of the flyer? Definitely, they can go and look, or they can call FarmShare if they need information. They can even go to our website at farmshare.org, the event, go to the event calendar. They'll see the event calendar. They click onto it. There are numbers and information on there for them about the event. If they can't see anything there, they can also call a number here, 305-246-3276. You can ask for John Degado, or you can even email me at John, John, at farmshare.org, and I'll answer you back. And if you want, and if you're looking for food and you need food, you can also go to our website. There's a zip code. You put your zip code in, and it will give you our nearest partner food pantry that's next to you where you can pick up. Now, I want you to know, everything is free. You don't pay not one penny for any food at all.
That's a blessing.
So,
You got that?
Yeah.
Everything is free. So no
Everything.
shame. You come in, you get fed. You come
Okay.
pick up so you can make your meals.
You ain't got to show no ID. You ain't got to do this. You ain't got to do that.
You don't got to jump to no hoops at all. And just to know, we're here to help. And we do understand that hunger is the face of hunger no longer is like, just like Veronica said earlier, the face of hunger is no longer is that person you think on the street, that homeless guy. It could be your next door neighbor, your co-worker, your friend who you talk to, and anyone. So please eat, because remember, eating is not a privilege; it's a necessity.
It's
You need to eat to live.
You hit it right on
Good
the
point. Yes. Perfect. And then, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all did not catch what John Degado said about looking onto the farmshare.org website, you can also check out the cocowire.net website. I've got the item on the calendar on that May 4th date. And then there's a story, too, on the homepage, a larger story about some of the things that we discussed here today. And I want to thank you, John Degado of FarmShare, for joining us today, and Veronica Flores-Osborne, the president of the local National Association of Letter Carriers, and Thomas Masters. Thank you for joining us as well, sir. I appreciate it.
I did some research.
Oh, you did?
It was the Marvelettes.
Who did
that
what?
Sang Please, Mr. Postman.
Please, Mr. Postman.
Marvelettes and the Carpenters.
And the Carpenters.
Oh, okay.
You don't know anything about
Let's
the
see if I
Carpenters.
knew
I don't either.
If I had known anything about that, I would have had the little song.
You would have watched the
playing in
Grammys. They
background.
played it on the Grammys. I saw
Really?
it. Yeah, they did it. They did Mr.
Really?
They were doing the old Motown special too. They,
You remember
let me tell you,
was it Marvelette?
we're all over the place, even on stage.
Wow.
And let me give you a little note. I have to tell you something. You know that movie, The Green Book?
Yes.
That Green Book was written and started by a letter carrier.
Really?
Did
Really?
you know that?
Did you know? That's on the Cocoa Wire page. Maybe I should make that.
No,
one of
maybe
my-
I need to go home and see if my Social Security check is in the mailbox from the letter carrier. That's what I need to do. And having said that, are we at the end?
Yes.
The best is yet to come.
There you go.
Thank you, Mayor Masters.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye-bye.